For it will do it 10 minutes early. How you like that? How you like me now? I don't normally come early. Just saying. So, how's it going? Beautiful close-up. What do you mean? What kind of close-up? It's not that close. Yeah, I guess I am kind of on a roll. And Neod is ready for action. Dual wielding pikes? No. I'm not even continue reading. No. Just no. And Scott is there too. Aha. The gang is gathering. Good. The wrenches have arrived. What shall the subject of the stream be about? I don't know. How would I know? How would I know? I'm only the streamer. I mean, I have one idea. How about... Just give me a second here. Where even... Wait, where's the correct window? I want to show you a window and it's not in the drop-down menu. Why? Why the hole? Okay, that doesn't work at all. What? Let me see if I can't. What? Why do you not work? God damn it. It normally does. I wanted to say, let's look at some pictures. And now I'm wrestling with the stupid, with Streamlabs basically. Where is it? God damn. Why you no let me pick the correct window? Why you dumb, Streamlabs? Why you no do? You must do the thing. Okay. Maybe if I add a new one, which will be for all intents and purposes completely identical, but it might act differently because that's how this shit works. No, we don't want to. No, not Streamlabs. Don't capture yourself, you dumb program. What's your problem right now? What is your problem? Do I have to add something new entirely? Is that it? Old man Skull struggling with tech. What else is new, right? In the old days, this shit was not this difficult. Oh, there we go. Yeah, don't ignore the absurd number of tabs I have open. I'm crazy. Don't mind me. Do you want to look at my Pinterest? I don't care if you do. We're gonna... Just for funsies. Yeah. So it's kind of an amusing array. So stereotypically, my Pinterest is full with weapon pictures. Right? That's kind of what you would expect, I imagine. But there's also cute fuzzy animals. There's occasional pot chicks. There is... well, mostly that right now. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this. Oh, it kills me. It's so cute. I can't handle it. Oh my goodness, it's so damn cute. Ah, Scottish greatsword versus... Is it pronounced jute and buckler? No, greatsword. I don't think there's much of a contest there. Yeah, I like cute fuzzy things in my feed. What can I say? They're too damn adorable. You know what? I should open this in another window. As a matter of fact, let me... let's put that here. Yep, that way I can switch back and forth without the view switching back and forth. Maybe. Yes. I can do that. Haha. I am smart. I has the smarts. Okay. Alright. First off, super chats. Thank you, Gustav, Arnab, Tom, and Diva22. What do you think of the trope of the combatants holding a conversation while fighting a duel? It's kind of ridiculous, right? Not necessarily. If you go by reports of actual duels that happened in history, supposedly there was quite a bit of shit talking going on. So no, I think that's appropriate. They would do that. Maybe a little bit of psychological warfare, a little bit of taunting here and there. They did palaver, supposedly. And yeah, I mean, unless they're totally out of breath. Although, you know, trying to still talk meanwhile might be a way of bluffing, maybe. I don't know. Cool curtains. Why is it not green? What? They are green. Okay, it's so overexposed that you can't tell. There. But now I'm underexposed, so take that, I guess. That doesn't really help. They are green. Trust me. It's just there's a lot of light coming through those. Anyhow, just bought a Tulwar and it's fast as fuck. You should try more. Cuts with curved swords, so good. Oh yeah, I'm sure I will. There is always more swords I would like to try out. Do double-bladed glaives actually have some merit in combat? I do think it's just a gimmick used for movies and video games. I did a discussion of that in a blatant sorcery video. What was it called again? Double-bladed spears, I believe. Something double. Let me just check here. Not double. What? Double. Short double spears. Yes, that also applies to dual glaives. It really depends on the handle length. If you have a proper pole arm, basically, with a long pole and two short blades on, you can make that work. If it's a short handle with two long blades, it's garbage. In short, and that video explains why. Do you have a picture with monkeys with daggers? I don't think I do, at least right now, but I can pull one up, I suppose. Oh, typing with one hand sucks. Ugh. Everything's in the way. I mean, there's one. Right. You're probably thinking of this. Monkey business. I mean, just there. I can... Shitty resolution, but you can still see it a little better. Indeed. Yeah. I think that's enough. Oh, ermines. Why you gotta be so damn stupidly adorable? It kills me. Anyway, yeah, so this is what my Pinterest looks like. A lot of blades, a lot of, you know, artwork, both fantasy and sci-fi. Goth chicks. What can I say? HEMA stuff. Cute fuzzies. That's what it looks like. In case you were wondering, which you probably weren't. But that's what it is. What's striking? I think you discount Viscount and go cool. What's striking with the pommel of a sword while gripping it normally, as opposed to Motschlag, damage it over time? No, I don't think so. I mean, if it's like some swords had hollow pommels, so if you strike with that, maybe over time you could dent it, but really no significant damage at all. What do you do for a living? This. Well, not streaming, but YouTube. Why no early modern swords in your suggested purchase series? I need my sabers and tactical machetes. Hey, I had some tactical shit in there in part 3. But yeah, modern military sabers. Just never been my thing, really. I mean, I have reviewed a few, but I've never been super interested in them. Maybe I'll give them another chance at some point. Maybe. Anyway, thanks, Scott. Thank you, Gerald, as well. Much love from old fan. Yep, I remember you. Are you still accepting custom items for review? Not currently, because I won't be able to test anything for a while. No, probably until summer, it looks like. But then, yeah. Saw one-armed guy who can fire arrows with his mouth. Damn. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, and then every now and then you get this random bullshit like, hey, fruit yogurt. It's just ads. And weird cat lamp. I don't know what. I don't know why Pinterest thinks I would be interested in a cat lamp. Oh, probably because I look at cute animals. That's probably why. It also thinks I'm interested in mountain climbing, apparently. I don't know why. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is either. Definitely some random shit. Red Bull, yeah, no thanks. Okay, now it gets, like, the further you scroll down, the more it just turns into pure spam. Like, ads, 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 ads. Can we not? Hello, Pinterest? Can we not? Give me more ermines, basically. Why did I say basically? That doesn't even make sense in that sentence. Give me more ermines. Period. Not basically. There's nothing basic about them. Ermines are cute level over 9,000. Anyway. Would a wooden shield still be usable after 900 years? No. Definitely not. If it were stored in a vacuum chamber, well, yeah, I suppose. Have you ever been anything apart from drunk? Apart from drunk? Huh? I mean, I've never even been full-on drunk. Because the thing is, every time I get even slightly tipsy, what you would call, I hate it. I despise it. And now I understand why. Because my brain underproduces dopamine, apparently. And so basically anything that has a suppressant effect on the nervous system kills me. I mean, not literally, but it makes me feel absolutely terrible. What I need is stimulants, caffeine. I will never try Coke because, I mean, actual Coca-Cola, but not cocaine, because that would probably get me seriously addicted. That's probably exactly what my brain needs. So, not doing that. So, yeah, I've never been fully drunk. I've never been high on whatever the hell stuff, you know? Just, I don't do drugs, period. Skull on coke would be awful. That's what you say because you've never seen me on coke doing content. Can you imagine how high energy that would be? And crazy and aggressive and fucked up? It'd probably be hilarious. And then I'd have to deal with a coke addiction on top of a food addiction. No thanks. Food addiction is bad enough. It's bad enough. Thoughts on edge type, hard targets versus biting through clothing. That's a good one. Now the blade needs to bite, but how much? Like to where you could shave with it? Yeah, thanks, Wing Zero. That's a good question. It's basically you need to get the right kind of balance, because I've done some tests on padded armor, padded jacks, gambesons, etc., and a dull sword, or even a sword that's not pretty much almost shaving sharp, is not doing a whole lot to it. Like, you need a very sharp sword, or I suppose it also depends on the type of sharpness, because if you have a coarser, more toothier edge, basically, it'll do better against cloth. If you have a very fine and not, very highly polished but not super sharp edge, it just doesn't even get through. However, of course, if you have a fine edge with like a thin angle, acute angle, I should say, a thin edge, it'll cut like crazy, but it'll get chipped or rolled or just get wrecked on anything hard, against others. So, in fact, here's a great example. I still have that lying next to me. So I just recently, no, not this, there. We just resize this again. I just recently tested this and a double-edged kinjal, which is basically about the same blade length and very similar, arguably the same type. And this one has a much thicker edge. You can see, hopefully, a little bit. Like, this is a convex edge that stays it's pretty solid. Like, it's a nice gradual transition. Then there is a secondary bevel here, but it actually cuts pretty well. It's reasonable, but this is way stronger. And I did test against the other blade, which got wrecked, basically. This is pretty minor damage. I don't even know if you can see that. Just a little bit here. Very minor. The other blade got deep nicks in it because it's much thinner. So this will last a lot longer, but I don't know how well it would do against padded armor and clothing and all that. The other one might do better on that. So yeah, it's a bit of a compromise. Cocaine and cigarettes can make you skinny. Yeah, I know. Meth can too. That's not necessarily you don't need dopamine to feel happy. Dopamine is not a happy hormone. That's not what it's for anyway. It's neurotransmitter, I should say. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter that gets you motivated, that gets you to approach something, that energizes you to take action, basically. Dopamine is what causes you to... It's basically the promise of reward. It's not reward in and of itself. That's more endorphins and... what's the other one? I think serotonin does that. Unless I'm mixing up the terms. Anyway, You can have endorphin too, which is stimulated by chocolate, and yes, sex. Hope it's not inappropriate to say. No, that's true. Chocolate, unfortunately, does that. And so does sex. Less unfortunate. That is actually quite healthy. Well, okay. Depends on how you do it. With whom and whether you use protection and etc., blah, blah, blah. You know? Anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm a doctor. I know what dopamine does. I did not think you would know that. Okay. Am I more educated than you thought, huh? You should not underestimate random dumbasses on YouTube. I'm just joking, of course. Yeah, serotonin makes you happy, and too much makes you hallucinate. Okay, there we go. Chris Farley was extremely overweight, and he was quite the cokehead, was he? Yeah, good old anecdotal evidence. Yeah, cocaine as side effects usually comes with weight loss and this and that. Yeah, but Chris Farley though. Yeah. Imagine being neurotypical. Yeah. I wonder what that's like. Let's see, what else is Pinterest coming up with right now? Because I like to look at it every now and then because sometimes it shows the craziest shit. Like, for example, what the hell even is this? Sometimes it shows, it pops up swords and other stuff that I've never seen before. I'm like, huh. Intriguing. Hey, where's the other? Wow. Did they just... Wait a moment. They just shoved the cross guard through a hole in it? Wow. Okay. That's an odd way to do it. Okay, then. That's different. It's not what you see every day. And then there's whatever the hell this is. Right, they've had that on Fortune Fire once. I forgot what it's called, but damn. Why are you so crazy, real world? You can't just make stuff that looks like it's fantasy in the real world. It's forbidden. It's illegal. What are you doing, people? Okay. Well then. What? Chinese maces? The what now? That's supposed to be a mace? To me it looks like a sai with a crescent blade on top. Wow. Bizarre. Some crazy stuff. Well then. You ever just vibe check your sparring partner so bad the sword bounces back and hits you? No. Normally, the people I spar with are not made of rubber, so that doesn't normally happen. Another ermine. Oh, so fucking cute. Huh? A duplicate. There's two of them. Oh yeah, boobies. Sorry. What else we got? That's pretty neat too. Can you even see my cursor? I don't know if you can. Maybe. Yep. Oh, really? Pinterest is showing me myself. That's weird. I mean, yeah, swords. Oh my goodness, it's so damn cute. Anyway, that's enough of that for a bit. There. Check my last super chat for a question. Did I overlook something? Discount, viscount. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Didn't mean to. Let's see. Speaking of drugs, what's your view on Aztec warriors chewing coca leaves or other berserker drugs before battle? It makes a lot of sense because I think it also has some pain-killing properties, right? And it's a stimulant. Yeah, sure. I mean, basically, there's two ways of looking at it. You can either take a stimulant before battle as kind of a performance-enhancing drug, if you will, or you could take something that has a calming effect to deal with the anxiety before a battle. Because if you're already super anxious before the battle and then you take a stimulant, you might get full-blown anxiety attack or whatever, you know. So you can look at it either way. But it does make sense. There's not exactly, anti-doping regulations on medieval or in general historical battlefields. Why did I say medieval? It was about Aztecs. I mean, they were around in the Middle Ages, of course. So anyway, you're my longest YouTube subscription. And I wanted to thank you for your hard work. Thank you, Starhawks. Appreciate it. Is a toothy edge durable, or like say if I custom order a longsword, what kind of edge should I request on it? Tatami versus cloth edge differences. If you want to do tatami cutting, I would definitely say a smooth polished edge. You can argue that a toothy edge is more prone to damage. Because on a microscopic level, it's basically like little serrations. And so in theory, there's more... The force can act on those and break out chunks more easily than a smoother edge. Again, in theory, I'm not sure if in practical terms it really makes that much of a difference. I can't tell you for sure, but... Normally, I would say polished edge, for backyard cutting in general. Nazis were hopped up on amphetamines. Yeah, wasn't Hitler addicted to a wide variety of drugs? Like he took drugs for some condition and then you had to take other drugs to mitigate the side effect of those drugs and whatever. It's like, yep, the master race. Glorious example. Superior genetics, clearly. Do you consider yourself famous? Nope. And do people recognize you? It has happened a few times when I was out and about. Do you like muscular women? Define muscular. Are we talking like bodybuilder on steroids? Then nope. Are we talking athletic, fit? Hell yeah. Are we talking something in between? Like a certain amount of muscle mass that kind of looks impressive? Yeah. But there's definitely a certain cutoff area. Thank you. Did I miss Gerald's super chat? I don't think I did. Oh, I missed the second one. God, what is it with me today? I'm particularly scatterbrained. I keep missing super chats. It's stupid. So sorry about that, Gerald. If you have depression or other mental health issues, do not drink alcohol. It can literally make you commit self-uninstall. Self-uninstall. Wow. That I like that euphemism. Anyway, yeah. I mean, just alcohol is not good for you in any way, shape, or form, really. It's just so common. It's just the most socially accepted drug. Like almost everybody partakes of it. And of course, in small amounts, it's fine. Even though the research has shown that even small amounts are really not healthy. The idea that wine is beneficial, it's like, yeah, guess what you get the same benefit from? Grape juice. Grape juice is actually has that benefit without the negative effect of alcohol. Anyway. Okay. What's my thoughts? Oh, okay, it's directed at Nayot. Okay. Oh, so you're saying that you can't afford super chats, and when they happen a lot, then normal chats are being ignored? Not really. I just read yours, and I do read regular chats all the time. It's just, if there is a super chat, of course I'm going to prioritize it because, somebody supported the channel. So of course they deserve to be prioritized. But I read regular chat all the time. So I don't know. Just look at the volume. Look at the number of regular chats there are and the number of super chats. Of course it's going to be easier for me to see the super chats and catch up to them. And even then, as you've seen, sometimes I overlook one and accidentally skip it. So it happens. Cannot wait till next YouTube con. We'll get autograph. I've never been to a YouTube con, so I doubt you'll find me there. It's just, large gatherings of people. But maybe at some point. I'm just too introverted to enjoy large groups of humans, Number one cause of death in Russia is alcoholism. Alcoholism. Second one is incidents caused by alcoholism. It sounds very stereotypical. So I wonder if that's actually backed up by statistics, but I wouldn't be surprised. Have you tried the AI overhauls for blatant sorcery? Any good? I have not, so I don't know. Muscle babes are the ones that actually look like women with all that muscle. The ones that end up looking like men with it, those are the she-men. It really depends. Because I do have a lot of respect for female bodybuilders. So I wouldn't talk shit about them. There are definitely some that go in the same direction as the totally over-the-top male bodybuilders who are just, totally on steroids and growth hormones and who knows what else. Like the ones with, with gyno and the roid gut and all of that, like the extreme cases, which starts to get grotesque. And yeah, some female bodybuilders go that way too, and just totally go over the top. That's never nice. That doesn't matter who does it. It's always gross. But, there are some female bodybuilders who are pretty big, but aesthetic, and I find it very impressive. The amount of work that they put into it. One thing that pisses me off about this whole thing is if you see a video of a male bodybuilder, everybody's like, "Oh, nice gains, Bron," and they're all complimenting him on his hard work, etc., etc. If it's a female bodybuilder, like 90% of the comments are about how she looks. Is she attractive or not? Like, oh, she's ugly, or oh, she's cute, or she's this and that. It's a little bit weird. I don't know. It's like in one case you compliment them on their looks, and in the other you compliment them on their hard work. I mean, both are about the looks, obviously, because the male bodybuilder is also about the looks, but it's formulated in a very different way. And one is a lot more respectful of the accomplishment, or even worse, actually. Bodybuilding, that's a different story. The better example is actually female athletes in general. They're performing in, I don't know, whatever it may be. If it's running or, I don't know, track and field or who knows what. It's the guys, it's just, all the comments are just about their performance. With the women, 90% of the comments are about whether she's attractive or not. It's like, the performance, huh? What? Doesn't matter, right? Anyway, have you played Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Nope, and I refuse to. It's too stupid. It's just, I hate how they butchered Vikings. And it's so typical. Like, I also don't like how the entire series has gotten more and more ridiculous. Like, it used to be much closer to historical reality. It used to have more realism. In fact, that used to be a selling point of Assassin's Creed, right? Back then. And then they just got more and more crazy with it. And Valhalla looks terrible. Like, so much fantasy bullshit in there. And they're still referring to historical events and historical personalities. And that just rubs me the wrong way. I have no problem with fantasy. If they go all out, it's like, okay, this is fantasy. This is not supposed to be historical Earth. It's something else. No problem. Awesome. If they take history and butcher it and still refer to it and still kind of claim this is a historical game, do not like. Oh, and it has microtransactions too? Well, fuck it twice then. Thank you, Mr. X, the player, for becoming a member. Appreciated. You put a false Ulfbert sword in Valhalla and it's a massive two-handed sword. Oh no, what the hell? Yeah. Viking two-handed swords are not a thing. They shouldn't be a thing. Sword and shield. The thing is, I'm okay with the dual wielding weapons. Not dual wielding shields, but I'm actually okay with the dual wielding weapons. Because at least it's in the sagas. So there are sources mentioning it. Of course they play it up a little bit for the purpose of storytelling, and they make it seem like it. I mean, okay, it's still not that common in the saga, so it doesn't mean that it happened all the time. But still, I'll give him that. Yeah, dual wielding. Yeah, fine. Go for it. But two-handed Viking swords. I don't know. It's like making a game about the Napoleonic Wars, and then suddenly there's like a Gatling gun showing up on the battlefield, or you know, something ridiculous like that. You're like Napoleonic warfare, and then they have a cult peacemaker suddenly. That kind of crap. Why are Chinese gens top end more expensive than top end katanas? Are they? I don't think they are, because I've seen high end katanas for like $10,000 and anything in between. I've seen the Cult of Athena alone has katanas for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. You've got everything. So I don't know. I think the sky's the limit either way. Ever tried bayonet fighting during HEMA practice? Nope, I have not so far. They mistook the show Vikings as historical documentary and followed that? Yeah, pretty much. With all the LARP bullshit that comes with it. I know you did a couple of videos on Kingdom Come Deliverance, but did you actually play the game all the way through? I have and loved it. No, I have not. At some point I just ran out of time in Steam, and not Steam as in, you know what I mean. Figurative Steam. Anyway, thanks, Tom. Let me see if I can maybe manage to play a game for a little bit on the side, maybe in a smaller window, while also keeping an eye on the chat. Maybe I can do that, because there is one that I kind of want to show you for a bit, because I quite like it. Let me just see if I can do this. Because I don't want to just be ignoring the chat at the same time. That's always a problem with gaming while you're streaming. It kind of defeats the purpose of streaming if I don't, if I can't read the chat at all. It's kind of a little bit slightly pointless. Well, I don't just want to crank down the resolution. I don't want it. Does it even run in a window? It might not. I just changed it to window in the settings and it's still... Wait a moment. It's not saving it. What? Oh, there it is. Apply screen settings. Okay, windowed. Can I do? No, I can't. Huh? Oh, come on now. Okay, not really, that doesn't help. Oh, I see the problem. I can't actually drag the window. I can't drag it, I can't resize it, so... Yeah, I guess it doesn't actually work. Well, I guess we can't do that after all then. Because I only have a single screen right now. I don't have the space to set up a second screen. I could abuse Nayot as the chat reader bot and just. Oh hi. Player 2 joins the game. What?
I always only get to be player 2. That ain't fair.
You can't be player 1 if you want. You can be all the players. How long does it take you to remove a U roll on a what? Oh, an edge roll, I'm assuming. And do you reprofile it? If the edge is rolled, you might be able to hammer it back down. The only problem with that is you're weakening it. That's actually what happened with the Principe. It had an edge roll, and then I hammered it back down. And if you cold hammer it, the problem is that puts a lot of stress on the steel. So that makes it much more likely to then get damaged in the same area, which is exactly what happened. So you can't. The only other option is to grind it out entirely. And at that point, you might as well try to hammer it. Even if you weaken the area, it's better than just removing it entirely, right? So, yeah. I'm actually literally going to put up a video about how to repair edge damage. In fact, it's already up. I'm going to publish it tomorrow. So, yeah. Watch the Viking anime Vinland Saga. I have not. But thanks, Andre. What you up to? Just gonna hover?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Bye.
Oh boy. Beep boop, I am chatbot. I mean, we could do that if you're okay with that, but that sounds like a bummer. It sounds like a really tedious thing to ask of someone. Hey, why don't you just read out the chat while I play a game? Like I'm having fun, and you're just a secretary. You just read shit. That's kind of lame. How do you sharpen your swords? Generally with a work sharp, which is basically a miniature belt sander. We could. What would I need to do? You could just we could just do a Discord call and then. Oh no! I saw the the GIF you posted. If you're cat watching me while I stream, that's pretty funny. We no, that's okay. We had 25% skipped frames for a little bit, but it seems okay now. Yeah, I mean, we could try it just for shits and giggles, because I don't normally play games on stream because of this exact issue. I don't want to just be ignoring the chat completely. So if you don't find that boring, we could do that. How many samurai does it take to beat a knight? Totally unbiased question. 100% impartial. Have you played Assassin's Creed Origins? Yes, I have for a bit. I haven't played it all the way through, but I have played it. Oh, you've got too much background noise on your end? Yeah, that could be. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's... If anyone is interested, the game I was gonna show you is called Nightmare Reaper, which is a retro pixel shooter, FPS, very much like the original Doom, and it's very well done. I quite like it. It's a good kind of retro. Have you considered joining the Brigandine Bros? I used to have one, but then I got too fat. So, trying to get rid of all the excess fat again, which means my measurements are going to change, which means that it doesn't make any sense to get any armor for quite a while. So, yeah. Fuck off. Got another email about somebody trying to talk me into joining their stupid network. It's like, no, I'm never going to do that again. I once made the mistake of signing up with a multi-channel network, and it was an absolute just appalling waste of money. Like, they take a percentage of your income and they give you essentially nothing. It's like some token service here and there, but it's bullshit, quite frankly. You mean a scammer? No, not that. It is a an actual. Like, I was going to say legitimate. It's not really that legitimate, but it's an actual offer. You can join a multi-channel YouTube network, and they claim that, yeah, they can do things for you. They can reinstate your channel if it gets, whatever, deleted or hacked or what have you. And they offer you some free royalty-free music, which you can easily find yourself. And, they claim that they can help you, become more popular and optimize your videos, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. They're just trying to grab some of your money while offering minimal services. So whatever. I love your videos, you sexy bastard. Okay then, thank you, sign in. Maybe I misread that. Loving the frequency of streams lately. Great to watch. Thanks. When I feel like them, I do them. Just dropped by to say hello. We discovered your channel along with chat and the Metatron because I might try Kingdom Come again, and your content always gets me in the mood for some medieval. Alrighty. Nothing wrong with that. Your video on fantasy swords that are historically accurate was great. I'm assuming you mean the one that was actual weapons from history that look like fantasy. And yes, I do plan to do more of that. I just need to find enough. I mean, there is plenty. I just need to find good pictures. And not just the pictures. Ideally, I'd like to have some information about them. The almighty context. You could signal for the chats to stop while you play a short game session, and when you're done, you can read some chats. Yeah, I've tried that before, a while ago in live streams, and for some reason, people never get it. Like, I say, hey, I won't see the chat for a while now. And then I do the thing, and afterwards it's like, he's not reading chats. It's like, oh my goodness. People. Apparently it doesn't work. And I know you have a tattoo on your hand. Show it. I don't. There's nothing on my hand. Neither. It's on my forearm. It's not my hand. Hope you're enjoying the white hell. No, definitely not. I was out there earlier and it fucking sucked. It's like, it's way more than it looked like from up here. It's like 30, 40 centimeters of snow, if not more. Stupid. If you had a polearm, which would you choose and why would it be a glaive? It would be a halberd. Sorry, rat. It would be a halberd. Nothing against glaives, but that's just my personal favorite. You got plenty of options. You can hook with it. It's got a spike. It's got an axe blade. It's got everything, you know. Well, not everything. It doesn't have a blunt impact device like a pole axe has. Hey, tips about beard maintenance. Well, wash it, use conditioner, use beard oil or beard balm to keep it moisturized, comb it, done. I'd go for a back to call balm myself. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Why is it hard to find decent Middle East sword reproductions? If I knew. It is. It is hard, but I don't really know why. Maybe makers think they're not popular enough? Can't tell you. Do you have any silly question? Do you have any fancy kitchen knives? Figure you love swords might make you more fussy about such everyday items. Not super fancy. I mean, I do generally do reviews of kitchen knives. I don't just buy random cheapo kitchen knives in the in a grocery store or whatever. But they're not crazy high end or anything. It's kind of like mid range maybe, if that. So they're decent, but they're not great. You seem bored. No, I'm not bored. I have more than enough to do all the time. No boredom here. Any upcoming projects? Just more videos. Always more videos. I don't have projects currently in the sense of like I don't have crafting projects anymore because, well, I don't have a workshop anymore. And so nothing too crazy, but entertaining content as usual. Where are you from? I live in Canada. In case you can't tell. You probably literally can't. Okay, never mind. It's just everything is just white. I mean, it pretty much is. But this looks even more crazy. We do have a lot of snow here right now. We have like at least, it looks like about 40 centimeters. What else is happening? If you could only keep one sword, what would it be? The Knecht, the good old Kriegsmesser. Did you do game streaming at one point? Yeah, for a while I had 2 monitors. I just can't really set that up effectively here. Don't have the space right now. And I also don't have the other monitor anymore. You plan on any more tabs, content in the future? Yeah, I might do some more totally accurate battle simulator. Anyway, thank you, Jaden's and Slayers. And thank you to Simoon. Who you think would win in a duel? 2 guys, one small with a long sword, one tall with a short sword. Length of shoulder to the tip would be the same. Well, I'm just gonna. Well, okay, wait. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the short guy with the long sword, because it's not just about the height, it's not just about the reach. It's also with a long sword you have 2 hands to use. So for one, it opens up more possibilities for a greater variety of techniques. And you can hit harder with that. It's going to be pretty freaking difficult to effectively parry a long sword strike with a short sword, even if you're taller. So yeah, more blade presence, exactly. So yeah, please move to Norway. Why would I go back there? We moved to Canada for a reason, and this is where we are. So there's nothing wrong with Norway. We just enjoy life in Canada more. It is what it is. So could a novice with a spear beat a veteran with a short sword? Potentially, yeah. It depends on exactly how wide the skill gap is. Novice with a spear versus intermediate with a short sword. Yeah, the guy with the sword has very little chance. Intermediate spear user versus master swordsman, I would still bet on the spear, probably. I don't know, novice versus veteran, if you mean like really experienced, that could still, the one with the sword would probably still take it in that case. If the difference in skill and experience is that large, then yeah. Because at that point, the novice is probably not going to have great footwork. And that's what can really make the difference. If the novice isn't able to deal with attempts to get past the spear point and move in, then he's screwed. So there's that. Is it true that bludgeoning weapons need more user precision to be effective compared to blades? No, it's the other way around. Because with a blade you need precise edge alignment and you need to... Yeah. That. You need to have more control over the weapon. With a blunt one you can just kind of angrily flail, more or less, and if it hits, it'll still do some damage. Obviously, angry flailing does not win a fight. In fact, it's more likely to get you maimed or killed. But in terms of how much precision you need just to do damage, definitely less so with bludgeons. Spears are better than swords. Why did they bother with swords? Because for one, you can't really carry a spear in everyday life for civilian self-defense. It's not happening. Two, you need a sidearm, If your spear breaks, you need to be able to use something else. That's where carrying a sword comes into play. 3 swords are prestige items, much more so than spears. A spear is more of a commoner weapon. Yeah, there's a number of reasons. A sword is more durable as well. Overall, I mean, it depends a little bit, but yeah. Can you be a millionaire if you sell all your weapons? No. No. Not even close. Pretty much cover that. What else? Any films you love, hate for the practical, historical/practical use of weapons and armor? I hate a lot of them because a lot of them are just mangle history and armed martial arts and completely misrepresent them. I can't even really think of too many that I really like. I mean, other than the ones that I've already covered, like the Deluge and the Duelists, and the fighting in Princess Bride is pretty good too. Actually, not as good as not as accurate as the other two, but still quite good. That's why halberd is superior. Axe and spear in one. Yep. Really, the only drawback is it's heavier. That's really it. Stop with the ethnicity question. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Just love chat's reaction to your comment on the Excalibur wall hanger. Yeah, I know. I didn't even know at the time when I ranted about that thing. I didn't even know he has that on his wall, and then I saw the video like, you dirty. That was pretty good. How dare you? Yeah. That was pretty funny. If you had to choose a century and only use weapons from that period forever, what would you pick? Probably 15th century, because there's a pretty good variety there. Or, I mean, 16th is pretty neat too. I'd have to think about it. If you can lose all your excess weight, but you have to give up all your weapons, would you do it? Yes, 100%. It's much easier to rebuild a weapon collection than it is for me to beat the stupid fucking food addiction. Much easier. Something moved from the corner of my eye, but it was probably just a pigeon. Do you listen to metal when training? Yes, I do. Not just metal, also sometimes also electronic stuff. Sometimes industrial. And synthwave, I found, works really well. It's pretty good exercise music. Do you like to play chess, Go, Nefertafel, any other board game? No, not really. I used to, here and there a little bit, but ebony armor and weapons. Skyrim, yes, maybe. There are ebony weapons, in actual ones in history, but they're generally clubs and similar blunt instruments. It works quite well because ebony is very hard wood and you can make some pretty decent clubs with that. Armor, maybe. There has been some wooden armor in history. You could probably work with that. Of course, it wouldn't look anything like that because ebony weapons and armor in Skyrim, whatever the hell that is, it's not ebony. About to give up all your weapons to lose your weight, would the answer be the same if you couldn't use weapons ever again? Here's the deal. If I could be forever slim and fit while eating whatever the hell I want, or let's put it this way, if I could be slim, fit, and healthy and eat whatever I want, but the price is I can never use weapons again, yes. Frankly, yes, I would do that. I would totally do that. As much as it would suck, it would be worth it. That's a price I would be willing to pay if that sort of magic existed. I would be happier, quite frankly. Magic, melee weapons, best against the paranormal. I mean, if they're magical, then whatever, right? You can have the Ghost Slayer 5000 magic sword, right? So, does spiritual damage. If it's magic, then it can be whatever. It doesn't really matter, right? You know, the Ghost Smusher. Like some spirit wall hammer. Did I just say wall hammer? Oh, wall hammer, yeah. You hammer the walls with it. War hammer. Anyway. If you chose that deal, though, what would your channel then be about? Food? Food and gaming and, I don't know, maybe travel and workout and stuff. I could still talk about, that's the thing, I could still talk about weapons. I could still show them, not in my hands, but I could still show pictures of them. I could still talk about them. I could still play video games with weapons in them, right? So I'd make that work. It's worth it. Do you have back pains? No, not really. I have knee and shoulder pains, but that's not weight related. Neither of those. Having a high metabolism is awesome. I'm sure it is. Just as it is to naturally have a very solid frame, you know. Like some people naturally have just by default a pretty high muscle percentage, like pretty decent body composition by default. Like there are people who don't even lift and have a pretty decent amount of muscle mass. Lucky bastards. You know, some are just naturally large, and not large in the sense of fat, just sturdy, you know. Anyway, A Song of Ice and Fire is a guy who dips his sword of magical napalm before battle in order to intimidate thoughts. It's pretty stupid, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, intimidation, whatever, but I have a strong suspicion that it might ruin the tempering of the blade and thereby cause problems with the edge. Even if it doesn't, just imagine like this, because you need some kind of sticky substance, yeah, some napalm, whatever, on the blade. What if that drips onto your clothing while you swing it, and now the damn thing sets you on fire? Like, I don't think that's a good idea. Not to mention, if you have to use the damn thing in dark conditions, you blind yourself. It's like if you hold a torch in front of your face, you can see nothing in the dark. Absolutely nothing. So I think it's not a good idea. It does. His blacksmith hates him. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Your face is definitely not fat. It is, though. It is. Ugh. Like, if you compare this to how my face looked in 2017, yeah, this is a fat face. It is definitely a thing. I looked kind of gaunt back then. Anyway, have you done a video with a spear? I can't remember. If you haven't, would you? Yeah, plenty. I would definitely suggest just go type spear into the search on my channel page. You find quite a number of videos. Do you think making workout videos would maybe help you out to keep a good pace while creating new content? I really don't want to do that. I've seen too much. Like, this kind of shit can be really discouraging. Because even on channels of professional fitness people, like actual bodybuilders and powerlifters and etc., Olympic weightlifters, the comments are full of people talking shit like, oh, your form is garbage, you don't lift that much, and you're not that big, and blah, 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 whatever. There's so much fucking trolling and unreasonable expectations and ridiculousness. If I did it, at my current level, no. That's not something that I need. I'm gonna keep doing it off camera. That's fine. Can we stop with the food/fitness trolling shit in the chat? I mean, we should probably move on. It's not the most interesting topic. Patreon only workout vids? No, I don't think so. I mean, I just don't see a point. Well, okay, there's one possible point, which would be maybe just some people find it motivational. What? Someone held for review? I don't see anything. Huh? What's going on? OnlyFans workout vids. Yeah. Naked. Super appealing. Have you played Valheim? I have not. Oh, come on. Come on, Nick. You know you want to crack, you know? Don't you hate that? You know that? When it feels like something's got a crack and it doesn't, you know? You're trying to snap it and just, no, it's not happening. But it still feels like you need to. Feels kind of stiff, but there's nothing happening. Anyway. Don't paralyze yourself. Suddenly I break my own neck. Snap. Yep. My arthritis hip hears you, man. It kind of, at this point, it seems like I gave myself arthritis in the one shoulder with, wrecking it in the gym. The symptoms are kind of similar. Oh, well. Tabs as a custom unit creator now? Oh, neat. Huh. That actually sounds interesting. Also miss Tatami cutting / gel stabbing vids with Vindsvept playing in the background. Yeah, I know, me too. But eventually it's going to happen again. I am really freaking excited about the house that we're going to move into in August. It looks like everything that was wrong with the first one just gone. Because this is actually a new construction, and so it's not going to be a money grave. It's not going to be like constant repairs and maintenance and fucking sump pump that can't even deal with all the moisture of the high water table, and fucking just workshop / garage that keeps falling apart and has things living in it in the attic and all the other shit that happened in that house that drove us out eventually. I'm really excited about this, the new one. I just need to be patient. It's still so many months. August. It's so long. I want it. But I gotta be patient. How many houses have you changed? Hey, this is literally the second house ever that we'll be living in. We've only ever lived in apartments otherwise. It's all been rental apartments the entire time. This right now is a rental apartment. It's always been apartments. It's gonna be the second house, second attempt. First attempt failed miserably. But now we know better. So I think it's going to be awesome. Now, I know, right? The second? What a nomad. Yeah, right? Crazy. I mean, we move a lot, like in the big picture. I don't think we've stayed at any place for more than 3 years since like 10? No. 7, 8? Something like that. But yeah, the lessons have been learned. We know a lot more now. And this is a great find. Like, we were really lucky to find this at the price that we did. Like, it's already increased. Like, the damn thing isn't even built. And the price has already increased. And yeah, it's insane. So we got really lucky with that. We just gotta wait. We're gonna be stalking the lot and looking at the construction in progress. It's gonna be awesome. The one concern is I don't have anywhere near as much space. Before I had like this huge area. Now it's just a little backyard. Yeah, with a fence and all, so I can do my thing there. It should be enough, I think. I hope it will be. There are certain things I won't be able to do there, like crossbow tests. I don't think I can do there. There's just not enough space. But it also means it's not going to be as much time. Because with the other one, I had to constantly, shovel snow in winter and cut grass in summer and then do all kinds of maintenance, etc. It's not going to be a thing there. It's much smaller area. It's just a small lot, and yeah. It's not as private. There will be neighbors, but they're not like densely packed or anything. There's only really one direct neighbor on one side, and then toward the other side there's a bit of space. So yeah, I think it'll be fine. If the neighbors don't like the occasional sword clanging, then that's sucks for them, but this is literally part of my job, so it is what it is. I want to just buy a barn and fit it for half cost. It's really not half cost. With all the money you have to sink into it, it gets pretty crazy, actually. And there aren't that many here anyway. Like every now and then, like I just recently saw, like what was it, like between 10 and 20 acres, I think it was. Or was it more than 20? I don't remember. But like a pretty large chunk of land with a huge old barn that was in horrendous condition. And it's still $400,000, for something that you probably still have to stick another 100K into. Yikes. But as a commercial property, it would be great because the thing was huge. But yeah, we're not gonna do that. If you get lucky, the neighbors will be chill. I think they probably will be. Like we've talked to some of the people who live in the same area, like on the same street, and they seem pretty chill. They're like in a similar age range as we are, and yeah, haven't encountered any Karens there yet. But of course, we don't know everybody yet, so. We'll see. Have you read or watched Berserk? Not really. I mean, I've seen, I've seen a few episodes, I guess, of the animated series, but not a whole lot. You sent me a comment on the Soul Calibur 6 tournament trailer that the gameplay was good despite the franchise's ridiculousness. Do you actually play Soul Calibur 6? I mean, I try to get into it here and there, but I'm gonna really date myself. I find recent fighting games have become a little too complicated for me. I like the good old Street Fighter and, like Soul Calibur 1 and 2. They were kind of a little bit more straightforward, I feel. Like kind of didn't have a lot of extra fluff. The gameplay just did what it needed to do exactly, and I like that. Like there's a lot of just extra layers of complicated gameplay mechanics nowadays. They're just, I don't know, I don't need that. I'm not talking button mashing, no. I do like games that require skill, like Super Street Fighter 2, for example, and the Street Fighter Alpha games, for example, and Street Fighter 3. They're great. And they have some complex mechanics. You still need to learn those games, but they're not as, I don't know, not as overly complicated, or maybe it's just that I'm already familiar with them. Like I already know how to play them. And every new game in the series, like every new Street Fighter, they do change the mechanics here and there. But if you're familiar with Street Fighter, you can play it. You know, a new Street Fighter game, even if they change things, you can still play it, and you don't need to relearn the entire thing. Soul Calibur 6 compared to Soul Calibur 1 and 2, it seems like you have to relearn quite a bit, and I don't know. I tried it, and this immediate gut reaction, I don't know about that. Ever played Virtual Fighter? Yes, I have. What do you prefer, really young neighbors or really old ones? Something in between, maybe. I mean, if I had to choose, probably be more young. My problem with young neighbors is they are likely to have screechers, and no, do not want. Do not want. But old ones are more likely to be Karens and, you know, Karen boomers and stuff. So, yeah. Nosy. You know, older generations tend to be nosy and judgmental. What's your favorite meal? Pizza. Creative, I know. Did you mean creatures? No, I mean screechers. As in things that screech. I prefer 18-year-old lesbian exhibitionist neighbors who like classical music at moderate volumes and don't let their cats out. What? What the fuck? Have you played any of the Devil May Cry games? I actually haven't. What else? Would you rather not have swords for 2 years or have to take care of a child for 1 year? Easy. No swords for 2 years. Easy. Because I would still come out sane. I would not in case of the other option. My sanity would be gone like after, quite frankly, after 24 hours probably. The cinnamon challenge. Are you a time traveler from 10 years ago or longer? Get up to date with your internet challenges. What the hell? I prefer the extremely elderly. They're quiet, keep out of your business, and if you nick their paper, they will have forgotten about it by tomorrow. Well, if they're that old, then are they even living in a house by themselves? Yeah, the kind of person who's just... in a rocking chair on the front porch like this all day, just staring into the distance. Yeah. And every now and then, if you prompt them, they're like, "In my youth, back in the 1920s." Yeah. Let me tell you about 1939. Assassin's Creed Vikings is, you mean Valhalla is a cringe machine. I agree with that. Which Mass Effect is your favorite? 2. You get the remaster? No, probably not. Sitting on a porch doing nothing sounds pretty sweet. I don't know, it sounds very boring. What's with ice giants now? You prefer overly realistic or overly arcadey fighting games? Overly arcadey, I think, between those two. I mean, Hellish Quart is great, but if I could only play one kind of fighting game, it would be the arcadey type. It's just more fun. Because, I mean, let's face it, Street Fighter is pretty arcadey too. As is, well, a lot of them really are, yeah. Last question. Have you found or are you looking for your magnum opus weapon for your armory? I think the Knecht probably pretty much fits that already. So I think it would be hard to top that. The Principe could have maybe done it if it wasn't so fragile. And if the grip was better. So, yeah. Mortal Kombat. Nice window cover. Did too many people get distracted by cars in the last stream? No, it's bright as hell right now. I mean, check this shit out. Like, do you want this? Is this what you want? I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't even help that much. It's still overexposed like crazy. So, yeah, if I had to adjust it to the background, I would basically just be a dark shade. I would just be a shadow. You know what? Let me just do that just for fun. There you go. Now it's adjusted to the background. See the problem? This is the problem. So now I look like one of those, anonymous personalities confessing something on some stupid reality show or whatever. I am addicted to swords. I would sell my parents for swords. I'd sell them into slavery. Yeah, fuck that. It's a bit ridiculous, don't you think? In fact, I'm still underexposed. Yeah, that's the problem. I'm still slightly underexposed, and the background is just insane. It is what it is. Yeah, fighting an unlocked, not yet unlocked fighting game character. Exactly. That's it. The Zodiac Killer. Did you get time to watch Alexander Nevsky? No. What do you mean time to watch it? I didn't. I've never planned to watch it, as far as I know. I'm assuming. Did you bring it up on a previous chat? Probably. I can't remember. Looks like a really old movie. I mean, you said 1938? Anyway, thank you, Takao. I think that's a little bit too old for me. I know, heresy. I know there's some great classics from that time period, but I don't know, 30s, 40s, etc. It's not really a time period for me to watch movies from. Like much earlier stuff I can kind of get behind, like 20s and whatnot. There's some kind of neat stuff, but anyway, how's the Principe's dent? It's completely fixed. I sent it back to Albion. They fixed the sword, and then it was sold from there, so that it finds a less abusive home, basically. I just I had abused it enough, and I had made plenty of videos with it, so it was time to pass it on. How's the Skallagrim? Same thing, same as usual. Any chance of that overtaking the Knecht? No, not at all. It's beautiful, and I appreciate it, obviously, greatly, as a gift from that works. It's amazing, and they put so much work into it. Just really nice, looks great. Handling is the one thing that's kind of, it's very heavy and not super well balanced. It cuts like crazy, but just in terms of handling, like comparing to the Knecht, is no competition at all. What's your favorite sci-fi show? Lately it's been The Orville. I mean, we're done with it now. We watched the available episodes. Season 2 isn't out. No, wait. Season 3. 3 isn't out yet. But that's been great. Some people have described it as being more Star Trek than Star Trek, and you know what? I have to agree. That's actually a good way to put it. Wow, you're still talking about muscular women. We've moved on from that topic like an hour ago or something. How much money until you sponsor Raid Shadow Legends? Don't even use that name. Don't even mention it. It's done. It's dead to me. You know, as soon as I found out what a terrible sellout cash grab that is, I was done with it. I will never ever promote that again. Doesn't matter what they offer. I'm still kind of disappointed at myself for promoting it at all back then. Then please write down the series name. Yeah, I can do that. There, go watch it. It's good. It's also just the raid thing is so much worse because they spam it everywhere. Like every single big channel on YouTube has been bought by them at some point, and oh, it's disgusting. The ads are just. I've never seen any game spam ads this aggressively everywhere. It's appalling, quite frankly. Dude, I just said we moved on from that topic and now you copy paste the same comment again. We're done with that topic. Get with the times. They blatantly lied too. Yeah, that's what they said. They never paid YouTubers to promote their. What? Did they actually say that? That would be the most bold-faced, like, despicable lie that you can imagine. Well, aside from what politicians serve you, that's still worse. That's still filthier lies, even still. Money they spend on ads should have went to an actually good game. Yeah, I agree. Apparently, all they do is just take all the money they make and just reinvest it directly into ads. Just advertise, 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 commercials, everything, everywhere. Like, what the hell? Do you not like having pets or just decided against them because of inconvenience? The latter. Is that a sword in the background or is that camera gear? That is camera gear. That's a tripod. What's your real name? Last name, business. First name, Nunya. That game is crap, but I like some of the ads. I mean, to be fair, a few of the ads are kind of entertaining, but yeah. That's the best cloth to wrap a sword and a full steel mace for storage and transport. You can use just about anything. You could use... I mean, classic would be oiled linen. That's great. But you can also use, canvas or... I wouldn't recommend jute, for example. Or wool. What is dungeon synth? I've never heard that. Huh. Sounds interesting. Why the beaver? Why the beaver? Really? Canada, motherfucker, that's why. Not sorry. Not very Canadian, I know. Do you ever watch the Battle of the Nations fights? No, I can't. I can't. No. I can't handle it. It's too terrible. It's too much. Bash, bash, bash. No actual fighting, no techniques, nothing. Cannot handle it. My eyes. Yeah, I should forge a sword and quench it in maple syrup. There is actually a beaver emoji, huh? Damn. Good. There better be. How about a maple emoji, huh? Or a goose. A Canadian goose. It'll fuck you up. Oh yeah, there is a maple. Nice. So now we can spam maples and beavers in the, don't do it. Of course, not everybody does. Oh well. Never tell anybody don't do that, because then they're going to do exactly that. I mean, I'm also kind of guilty of that. Whenever somebody posts like, never make this kind of video again, I'm like, oh, you want more of this video? I get it. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can make more of this. I can make a lot more of this. It's like, fuck you trying to tell me what I do. Any particular oil, or can I use sword oil? I mean, yes, use the oil made of swords. No, I mean, you can use, there's a number of swords you can use. You can actually use mineral oil. In fact, baby oil is a kind of mineral oil which is readily available in stores. You can use that. Made from the finest babies. And you can also use... one thing you can use that's also easy to find and cheap is ATF, automatic transmission fluid, that works. You can use fancy stuff like camellia oil. There's a number of things you can do. You can, in theory, even use olive oil if you want, but that can go rancid. So, what is your biggest guilty pleasure? Pizza. In fact, stuffed crust pizza, even worse. I wouldn't use WD-40 for cleaning. For one, it smells weird, and also I don't think that's really the right formula for blades. Ballistol. Yeah, I think that would probably work. I mean, ballistol is such a universal oil. It's very often used for firearm maintenance, but it works on all kinds of things. Apparently, even skincare, supposedly. Like, I wouldn't do that, but in theory, you can. Smells weird. WD-40 smells like heaven. Found the engineer. Guys, I think we found the engineer in the chat. Or the car mechanic or something. Any plans to cover war picks more in the future? I already did quite a bit, but yeah, maybe. I might do it again at some point. Do they make you register those guns? No. I mean, there isn't a class of firearms which is restricted, which do need to be registered, which is generally handguns. And a few other types, like the... Well, I was going to say the AR-15 platform, but that got recently prohibited entirely, didn't it? Which is stupid. But, yeah. Generally, for the most part, it's just handguns. Are you concerned about climate change? I mean, anyone who isn't concerned about it doesn't know anything about it, basically. That's kind of my stance. If you're not concerned, then you're not paying attention. What about 3-in-1 oil? Good question. I don't know. I don't know what type of oil that is. Let me check. Multi-purpose oil. Household oil. Lubricant for chains. What's it made of, though? Like, what type of oil is it? It's probably okay. I mean, I've also used, what is it? Hopi's, I think. Hopi's number 9. Some gun oil. You can use that too. What 90s anime would you recommend? I quite like Vampire Hunter D, but what else can I can't name too many animes. It's just anime, right? Or whatever. You just pronounce it Hoppies? Yeah, I've heard people pronounce it that way. Because it's Hoppe, right? I mean, it could be hops, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people pronounce it Hoppies. I don't know why, but probably because there's an E. I do think hops probably makes more sense, but I've heard it more often pronounced Hoppies, which is why I say it that way. It is weird. It is weird. I do agree, hops makes more sense. I should pronounce it that way. It does make more sense. Anyway. 3-in-1 is different levels of mineral oil. Oh, there you go. If it's mineral oil, then it's good to go. WD-40 will do anything perfectly except actual long-term lubrication. Yeah, it's not a lubricating oil, but I mean, I suppose you could use it on blades if you want to. I just think it smells way too strong. There's plenty of oils that don't smell like... Mineral oils generally don't really smell like much, so I like to use that. I thought about shooting long range with iron sights. I've done that before, yeah. I mean, not like crazy long range. I've never done 200 meters and more. But I mean, 100 meters is, depends on who you ask. To some, 100 meters is not long range. To some, long range is like 500 or whatever. But yeah, although I think I've shot 200 meters before as well with iron sights. Yeah, I think that was 200. I'm gonna get the Difos. Good for you. That's a good sword. Do you still hate spadroons? I still make fun of them. I still, make jokes about them. I can't hate something I've never even handled. So, but I find the memes worst sword ever kind of amusing. It does not look like a great design. I will say that. It's like let's take a small sword and turn it into a shitty cutter. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, but I'm biased. I will freely admit that. If anime is the topic now, it's not. It's really not. But yeah, I've heard of Kill la Kill. I've never watched it, but a lot of people like it. How come you never seem to comment on Swords of Northshire for quality? How come you never watch the videos where I do? I've reviewed stuff from Swords of Northshire and it's been really good so far. So I don't know what you're talking about. Type Northshire into the search and you shall find. Why, you know what, bro? Ever get your hands on the Hanwei Rhinelander bastard sword? I have not so far. I've heard some or read some good things about it, but I've never handled it myself. Sorry, I thought Kult of Athena sponsored you. What? No, not as such. I'm part of their affiliate program, meaning that if you go through my links to Kult of Athena, I get a little bit of a kickback, a small percentage, but it's not the same as a sponsorship. And even so, what does that have to do with my opinion of Swords of Northshire? Huh? What? If you had to go with one historical melee weapon for combat, which polearm would you use? Halberd. Always halberd. I mean, I like pole axes too, no doubt about it. But yeah. So much hype on Attack on Titan. Yeah, I know. Never watched it, so I don't know if it lives up to the hype, but there's so much hype that I kind of doubt it. Huh? Why is the WD-40 stole my virginity comment hidden? It's nothing. It's bizarre, but there's nothing wrong with it. People can post nonsense. That's okay. I mean, Unless it turns into spam. Although hype for Castlevania on Netflix was correct. Oh yeah, hell yeah. If you haven't watched the Castlevania Netflix series, like holy hell, you gotta. You owe it to yourself. It's some of the best I've ever watched, period. Like not even doesn't even matter like animated, live action, whatever, anything. That was amazing. I had high hopes and was even better than I was hoping for. Thank you, Daniel. I wanted to ask what your favorite media, show, movie, game, book, etc. is that was unrealistic / fantastical. Well, I literally just said it. Castlevania. Obviously not high on realism because there's vampires and magic and shit. But yeah, I love it. And I mean, there's plenty of other stuff too. Games, yeah, lots. I mean, the vast majority of games I like are not realistic. That's just what it is, you know. I love me some Chrono Trigger. I love me some Castlevania, you know, Symphony of the Night in particular, but others as well. You know, there's so much I like. I like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and there's so many damn games. You know, I just talked about Nightmare Reaper earlier, and Grim Dawn, and this, yeah, basically everything. Only a tiny fraction of things I like actually happen to be realistic. It's really not needed. I appreciate it when it's done well, but it's really not needed. Starbound, yes, that's another one. Stardew Valley. I mean, it's not super crazy, but it's not exactly a, you know, realistic simulator. You like the story of Dracula? I do. Someone made a retro Castlevania Doomsday. Yeah, I know the mod. I've actually started playing it just recently. I like it. Do donations go straight to Skall, or does YouTube skim a little or all of it? They take, what was it? 30%, I think. Yeah, 30%, which is quite a bit, but that's also what they do with, you know, any revenue, really. I think it's very unreasonable, personally. I think on donations, on super chats, I should really only take 10. You know, maybe as much as 20, but 30 is a little bit crazy, if you ask me. But it is what it is. Watch the Castlevania anime, but I can't ignore how they changed Isaac to force leftist political bullshit. What? What are you talking? No, actually, no, never mind. Ignore I read that. We're not doing politics. We're not doing that again. Fuck that. You recommend everything on Cult of Athena? Nope, definitely not. There's plenty of junk on Cult of Athena. For example, Deepika. Stay away from anything that says Deepika. It's garbage. There's plenty of other things too there. And also, a lot of the armor that's on Cult of Athena is it's budget stuff at best. So it's not super historically accurate and not super well made. But the things I do recommend to you on Cult of Athena are things that I genuinely like and think are well made, or at the very least, well enough made for the price, you know? You look like you listen to punk and metal. Okay. I do listen to metal. Punk, not really. I like symphonic metal. Therion is one of my all-time favorite bands. Is Topeka really that bad? In my experience, yes. Some people say they have gotten better. But what does better mean? Like if you go from absolute shit show, bottom tier junk to kinda, you know, budget junk, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know, if they went from 1 out of 10 to 3 out of 10, that's still not great. You know what I mean? I am a little biased. I will admit that. I am somewhat biased against Topeka. Maybe unreasonably so. But yeah, anything I've seen from them and handled, it's been not good. Anyway, if you want more music recommendations, Apocalyptica, good stuff. If you like ambient kind of background music without vocals, that's extremely atmospheric. Nox Arcana is amazing. If you want kind of more classic power metal, I like Demons and Wizards. Iced Earth. What else? Paradise Lost is another one of my all-time favorite. I think they're, what are they considered? Gothic metal, I think. Good stuff. Would you rather have a trebuchet or a ballista? Neither really, but if I somehow had to, I guess I'd pick a ballista. Yeah, Sabaton is good. Timeless Miracle? No, I have not listened to. Don't know. As regulations on the SKS in Canada, it's non-restricted. Yeah. You doesn't need to be registered. There's really no particular restrictions on it. You just need to have a non-restricted firearms license, and there you go. Oh, well, there is one other restriction. Because it's a semi-auto, they have to be modified to be limited to 5 rounds instead of the usual 10. However, it's really silly because it's very easy to circumvent that, because I don't know if YouTube has a problem with stuff like this, just mentioning something like that. Nah, should be fine. I'm not giving you an instruction or anything. I've seen people hold open the magazine, and then they can fit in more. You might like Eternal Champions Ravening Iron album. Okay. Or is it Ravening? Okay. England, where you need a license to carry anything more dangerous than bad language. Yeah. Oi. You got a license for that loiter, mate? You got a loiter? Yeah, that the 5-round limit is absolute bullshit. When not to use a warhammer against somebody with an agile weapon like a sword, it puts you at a bit of a disadvantage. Because it doesn't matter how hard you can hit them if you can't hit them and they're too agile and can outmaneuver you and evade your attacks and just stab or cut you. Are you going to do firearm videos after you're finished moving? Well, I mean, I do want to. I just need to find a gun club that I would like to join. Because so far it's a bit of a bummer. A lot of them don't let you just get a key and just go there whenever you want. So that's what I want. I just want to, just want to be able to go to the range anytime I feel like, and not have to do like group practice or whatever the hell. Just want to do my own thing, That's all I want. Did you play Bushido Blade on the PS1? Yes. I even made a video about it. Those clubs are called paintball. Now get out of here. Paintball. To go to range, you have to join the whole club. Well, it depends on the province. The thing is, in BC, on the west coast, you can go out in the bush and shoot there, and nobody cares as long as you're far enough away from houses and highways and are being safe about it. Apparently, you can't do that in Nova Scotia, which is stupid. There are ranges, public ranges that you can book, but for that you need to have a hunting license. I don't want that, so it's stupid. NS is a little bit lame in that regard, but oh well. Paintballs. You have any rapier recommendations for HEMA? Yep. If you go to wiktenauer.com and just look rapier, there's a lot of sources. Some like to practice Fabrice. I think that's how you pronounce him. There is Personally, like Capo Ferro, so that's a good place to start. But there's a lot of sources. Magical javelin that explodes 4 seconds after being thrown, then respawns in a special quiver on your back. Yeah, nice, but why not just have it explode on impact? Because the 4 seconds, I don't know. It's not necessarily ideal in every situation. I mean, just imagine, like, you pull it out of the quiver, and then somebody attacks you, and you have to immediately defend yourself. And then you kind of forget about the thing in your hand or whatever, or just you lose track of it because you have to focus on the attack, and then suddenly it explodes in your hand because the timer went off. I don't know. Or, one of them falls out of your quiver and lands on the ground. You don't notice in the middle of a fight, and suddenly it explodes on the ground right next to your feet. I don't know about that. Although that can still happen if it falls out of your quiver and hits the ground. That could still happen, I guess. Anyway, thank you for the generous super chat, Brandon. Highly appreciate it. That's awesome. Hope you have a nice day. Thanks, and I hope you do too. I hope you have an even better day. Huh? Yeah, trips while holding an exploding javelin. Oops. Indeed. I don't know. You know what would be great? A javelin that you can kind of remotely detonate with your mind. And you just look at it and you just go, explode. You just go boom in your mind, and it goes boom. That would be neat. Like the old sticky grenade. You throw it somewhere and then you have your button and you explode it. Love the Fortune Fire vid. Would love to see more like it. Well, you're in luck then, because I've already recorded and edited another one, which will probably be up. Yeah, I'm planning to put it up on Saturday. Tomorrow is going to be a different video. It's going to be about repairing edge damage on a blade, but then Saturday is going to be more Fife, forged in fire. Hope you're doing well and staying warm in this polar vortex. Oh yeah, and here it's pretty toasty. Keep up the awesome work on the videos and hope you have a great day. Thanks, Sneaky Bean. Appreciate it. Wish you power to take care of yourself and feel good. Thank you. I'll need plenty of that. Do you believe in the Nordish? The Nordish gods? You mean the Nordic or the Norse gods? No. I like them. Like I like Norse mythology, but I don't believe in it as in they totally exist. Longbow recommendation. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know about particular longbow makers or bowyers or whatever. It's not my specialty. Can't tell you. Several months after Skal moved. Did you move? Yeah, I know. Every stream. Did you move or something? Yeah. Yep. That'll keep happening. I have a feeling by the time we move into the new house, people still won't know that we moved to an apartment in between, so they'll just think it's still the same house, even though it's the second one. I'm pretty sure that that'll happen. Did you renovate your house? It looks a little different. Yep. Did you like change the paint or something? Yeah, we also changed the entire layout and the background that you can see through the windows. We changed it all. Just the power of renovations. Yep. As a house owner, fuck snow and winter. Oh yeah. Did not enjoy that last year. Do you think a steel bowl would work well as a boss? I've actually seen people make shields using those steel food bowls for cats and dogs. So yeah. I've seen that done. Not sure how. They're probably not super... They're not as durable as actual purpose-made shield bosses. Bosses sounds kind of weird, but yeah. Yeah, I know, Nayat, you're right. I know there's new people who just, haven't seen anything before. They can't know it. I know, it's just too funny to just kind of poke fun at it. It's like, to me it's self-evident because, well, of course I know, but somebody else somebody who's new wouldn't know and can't be expected to know. And even people who have been around for a while can't really be expected to know. But it's just funny when it comes up every stream. Did you move? Did you move? Did you move? Do you smoke weed? Yeah. It's just the live stream chat bingo. That reminds me, I actually wanted to literally make a list of live stream bingo and just put it in in a Word document or whatever, and take a screenshot and put it in the stream just on the side. I think that would actually be helpful. Let's see. So what are the bingo questions? Do you smoke weed? That's one. Fucking potheads. You smoke weed, bruh. You play D&D. What's your favorite sword? What's your favorite polearm? Have you moved? No, I'm not gonna add that. What else do we have? There's so many others. What's your ethnicity? Yeah. What are other standard questions? Yeah. Where are you from? Are you a Viking? Yeah. Right. How long does it take to grow a beard? How do you grow a beard? Even better. How do you grow a beard? It's like you wait. You fucking wait. And you use beard oil. That's the one thing that a lot of people aren't aware of. That's how you eliminate the itch. Yeah, have you watched such and such? Yeah, have you watched the Vikings TV show, Have you watched Vikings? Have you watched Attack on Titan? I have not watched Attack on Titties. Stop asking about it. All right. Yeah, do you play Assassin's Creed Valhalla? That too, yeah. Yeah, how's your hair so long? Or how do you grow, how do you grow long hair? You wait. you don't cut it. Some of the questions that people ask is like, huh? Do you know how the human body operates? It's like, do you even human? Like, is this a Zuckbot question? How, please human, advise how to human. I wish to become more human. Advice requested. How do I human? Yeah, what are you drinking? That's another typical thing. Do you even exist? Do you even have, like, reality gains, bro? What's the best sword in the world? Yes. I think we got most of them. I think there's still some more bingo questions left that I'm forgetting right now, but I think we got most of them. Yes. Yes, Nayot says, don't make fun of questions that new people have. You agree, then proceed to make fun of the questions new people have. Yes. Yes, I do. I do have my asshole moments too. Everybody is an asshole sometimes. Give me a break. I gotta be mean at least every now and then, okay? It's just, I'm not that Canadian. I gotta get a little bit of leeway for being mean and poking fun at people for no good reason. At least every now and then. I try to avoid it the majority of the time, but every now and then I gotta poke a little bit. I gotta poke and prod and be mean. Thank you, Test Bacon. What's your favorite? Katanas, though. Right, is pineapple on pizza heresy? That's another one. And you gotta admit, come on, Bloggedy and Nayot, you gotta admit the bingo is pretty funny. Like when every stream, the same question. That, like, the repetition in and of itself is kind of funny. You gotta admit that, right? Yeah, see? It is funny. Okay, what else? What's your favorite block in Minecraft? Yeah. Creative mode or survival? Why do you hate katanas? "50-year-old Skull sits down to live stream. What's your real name?" Yeah. I think I'm just gonna stick to it. Business. None of your business. Like fucking James Bond style. Do you want Blade and Sorcery to update its engine to allow flexible weapons to be possible again? Yeah, sure, why not? If they can implement it again, that would be neat. Not the biggest fan of flexible weapons, but they're kind of funny in how wonky they are. What are your biggest criticisms of HEMA? Do you mean HEMA as in overall the reconstruction of historical European martial arts, or do you mean the HEMA community? Because I definitely have one beef with the HEMA community. It can be pretty toxic at times, because like there are HEMA groups on Facebook, for example, where like almost every time somebody posts a video or brings something up, like a technique discussion or whatever, people get like really unnecessarily rude and belittling and just straight up say some people are, yeah, that they're full of shit, or this is a shitty interpretation and you're terrible and blah whatever. And it's like, wow. Like a lot of people in the HEMA community have a major chip on their shoulder for some reason, and they're like really gung-ho, egotistical, full of themselves. Like obviously not everybody, not by any means, but it happens often, more often than I'd like personally. I'll say that. Isn't that the nature of Facebook groups? Yeah, but not just that. Also in videos on YouTube, there's kind of like people, HEMA schools like to put down other schools, saying, yeah, well, their interpretations are not worth anything. Our interpretations are much more true to the source, and it's much better. Blah blah blah, whatever. It's like, can you just fucking tone it down and just do your thing? It's a little bit, HEMA gatekeeping. That's a thing too. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying. And by the way, that's not a HEMA thing. That's also a Kendo thing and a MMA thing and a just about anything thing, a karate thing, and humans. It's just a human thing. Yeah, Kung Fu, the different styles trashing each other. Too many people spoil anything. That's true. Devil's Edge comma video when pretty soon, actually. I think I'm gonna probably put that up next week, I think. Oh, did you accidentally hide a comment? Yeah, it happens, I know. It happens sometimes that you misclick. Because sometimes, like, YouTube automatically withholds something, and then you have to click on either hide or show, and it's easy to misclick sometimes. My Kung Fu is better than your Kung Fu. Now we must fight, indeed. All the, basement-dwelling egotists on the internet, like, no, what you do sucks. Fight me, bruh. I could kick your ass. Sitting behind a screen and being like, I could totally kick your ass. I'll fight you. And you're sitting there like, yeah, sure. You're gonna take a plane ride to who knows where and show up for sparring just to, jerk off your own ego. Yeah. Sure. Does Lee Smith's controversy have any merit? Word around the block is he's kind of a dick. I should probably pick my words carefully. I mean, I'm not with Blood Iron anymore, but the thing is, I'll tell you this. He's actually great with the students in practice because like he's very good at adjusting his intensity to the skill level of the student in sparring. So sparring with him is actually great. And he has a lot of experience. You know, he can explain things well, and yeah, he's good to practice with. On a personal level, he's a little bit abrasive. Let's put it that way. And he definitely has some, I don't know, in tournaments he has a bit of a temper issue, and he has some ego issues, let's put it that way. Like, I respect his skill. He's one hell of a fighter, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah, he has done some. There's some videos of him doing some questionable revenge hits because he thought that his opponent's after blows were a provocation or whatever, and I looked at the video and it was fine. Anyway, whatever. Thoughts on using judo throws in HEMA? Yeah, I think there would be opportunities to do that. I mean, there is wrestling in HEMA. There are a lot of manuscripts about grappling techniques in the historical manuscripts. Are you allowed to grapple in HEMA tournaments? It depends on the tournament. Some allow it. Some allow certain grappling techniques. Often they don't allow throwing someone to the ground simply because of the injury risk involved. But yeah, some do. Since you have to finger the guard to safely thrust with a sword, why do most swords not have a finger guard? Depends on the time frame. If you look at Renaissance swords where the thrust became more prominent, you do have that all the time. Side swords have it, rapiers have it, various other swords have either a finger ring or a basket hilt of some variety. Quite common. You should record yourself sparring. That makes it sound like you haven't watched a single one of all the sparring videos I've put up. There are plenty on the channel. You can just... No, all kidding aside and all sarcasm aside, I don't know how many, but I have a lot of sparring videos on the channel. Also, fairly recent ones from last fall. You should put up more videos about swords and axes and stuff, yeah. Right? Any chance you're ever gonna make a video about, like, I don't know, a sword or something? I'm here for random ramblings. Well, that's what you're getting. You with a rapier versus sword sage with his Jin. Who wins? Good question. The question is really more who wins more rounds. Because I have actually sparred with him before on one occasion, and it was pretty even, really. We, some rounds I hit him, other rounds he hit me. Some rounds we had a double. So yeah. That was with longsword though. Longsword versus I mean, pretty large Jin, which could have been used with two hands, but he used one. I mean, he does kind of hybrid thing. Like sometimes he uses the offhand for support. If I had used a rapier, it would have been more difficult for me because I'm not as experienced with a rapier. But yeah, it would be great to spar with him again. But unfortunately, we're on opposite coasts, and travel is not a thing right now. Anyone you sparred with gotten super salty? No, not really. I mean, not that they showed it, at least. If anyone did, they kept it to themselves. Have you ever sparred with someone with a Roman setup, Scutum and Gladius? No, I have not. I like how you started a sword channel and then became a master swordsman out of obligation. Hey, I didn't become a master anything. I've never claimed to be a master. I'm an intermediate at sword fighting. Or whatever else you want to call it. But yeah, that's kind of how it went. I started out with just swords, and it was, swords are cool. And I mean, I've always done cutting. But then eventually I was like, you know what? I should learn how to use them properly. I should actually learn to fight with them. That's kind of how it goes. Journeyman, I guess. I guess that's a way to put it. Salty bicep. Well, you didn't really get salty when I know that hit that I nailed you with on the bicep, that sucked. But you didn't get salty, right? You were just in pain. I think. I wouldn't call that salty. Like, you weren't throwing a tantrum or anything. You were just like, oh shit. That just wasn't fun. I mean, I've taken super painful hits too, and I also wasn't like, dude, what the fuck? How dare you? It happens sometimes, You're supposed to control your power and everything, and we do, but sometimes you just land an unfortunate hit or something else. Or, you powered more than you thought you would. It's kind of accidentally, it happens sometimes. But yeah. Anyway. In summary, discombobulate. Yeah, indeed. Such a great word. Gotta love it. Dude, why the hell are you talking about eating the butt of corpses? Like, can you cut it out? What's wrong with you? I mean, judging by your username, there's definitely something wrong with you, but just cut it out. It's enough. Could you just discombobulate over and over again to win a fight? Yes. 100%. He's 13. Yeah, probably. You might be estimating a little bit too high there. Sounds a little more mature than what we're dealing with. Anyway. Just found out I have a HEMA school in my city. Nice. Nice. That's good. My nearest HEMA school is 2 hours away. That sucks. That's not exactly... I mean, I guess it's doable, but no, not really. Because the to and from would be 4 hours. It's just crazy. I live alone. Having your stream on while doing chores is really nice. Thanks, dude. You're welcome, Gustav. Appreciate it. Kids should be banned on the internet. I mean... Maybe there should be like a kids web where they can all, scream at each other and I don't know, whatever. Reason to Fight from Disturbed is a great song about staying strong in life if it gets rough. Disturbed has so many good songs, but yeah, I agree. Great songs and great lyrics. Oh, right. COPPA actually prevents kids under children from having accounts. Right. As a moderator on multiple platforms, I'm obligated to ban underage users. I mean, not that in practical terms it does anything because they can just lie about their age. So that's a very kind of feel-good pretend law, but oh well. Yeah, actually, you're right. A kids web that would be pedophile central. They would just claim to be younger. Humans. You can't do anything with it. They will fuck it up no matter what you do. I was messing around on medieval collectibles one day, and I've actually found some working swords. Ooh. I mean, they actually look nice, but I'm unsure. All right, thanks, Joe. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been on medieval collectibles. I'm aware of the website, but I haven't really looked at it in detail. That got dark fast. Yeah, it did. It happens. Canada has a lot of pretend laws, but it's better than not having them. Is it? Maybe? Yeah. Sword Sage is a great sparring partner, especially when he isn't getting too flowery in his style. Yeah, which he, I mean, at least when I practiced with him, wasn't really. I mean, he had a few moves that maybe you could describe as flowery, but yeah, actually, when I think about it, there were a few that are kind of, yeah, a little bit less, what would I call it? Less minimal movements than could be. That can expose you a little bit. Anyway. But yeah, it was good to spar with him. The one time, the one occasion I had. If you could do a video with any YouTube content creator, who would it be? I don't know. AVGN might be fun. I don't really know what would we make a video about. Well, some retro games. It's not that hard. Pretty sure I could come up with someone else as well, but it's not like I religiously follow any particular channels necessarily on YouTube. No, I have my hands full making content. Can't watch that much. What the hell? Why did you guys not tell me that I'm completely, like, everything is super underexposed? You gotta tell me if it gets too dark in here. I'm just sitting here like a shadowy figure and nobody says anything. Oh well. What? Hey, Naot, calm down a little bit. You didn't have to put someone in timeout simply for mentioning PewDiePie. Relax. It's okay. He didn't do nothing wrong. Mike Loads? That would be cool, yeah. I have the same policy about PewDiePie mentions. I mean, if somebody spams it, then yes, by all means. But if they just mention PewDiePie once, I don't think that's really a reasonable to put them in timeout just for that. When in doubt, just, just leave him be. Like, I understand, like, for a while, everybody spammed PewDiePie all the time. I'm assuming that's where your rule comes from. I remember that. For a time, it was bad. People would just randomly spam PewDiePie, PewDiePie, PewDiePie. In that case, yeah, I get it. But this was just a kind of a one-time mention. I think that's fine. My mandatory donation every time I'm here. Thank you, Kyle. Good to see you. Any plans to review some folders soon? Not really. Knives are not really haven't really been much on my radar lately. So probably no folding knife reviews anytime soon. Okay. Now, I have a question for you, actually. Why the hell am I still streaming? I've been streaming for... Wait a moment. It's 4:20. 4:20. Oh my goodness. I've been streaming for 3 hours. Why have I been streaming for 3 goddamn hours? What the hell? This is a long ass stream. I think I really gotta get back to editing and stuff. I mean, there've been a lot of fun conversations, but this is kind of, there's a lot. Okay, there's one more super chat. I'll take that, and then we gotta wrap it up here. Before COVID, did you try to sneak halberds and shields past airport security? No, I have not. Thanks, Adam. I've had swords in the luggage, which is fine, but yeah, I haven't done halberds and stuff. Anyway, thanks for showing up. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you next time.